Oh, you can see here that I installed the AP60 unit on the other side of the firewall and earthed it against the body. And I ran the wires down underneath there and through the firewall where it's quite clear on the other side where to come through. So I could do all the wiring. And once tested, I'll be sealing that unit off. I've got the sensor cable that goes down behind all the copper piping, down past the exhaust pipes and everything else that I could put it behind, trying to keep it away from the exhaust and any road stones, whatever. You can see where the cable ties are coming from, where the cable's going along. The cable wasn't quite long enough, so I've had to solder another cable on, and that's where the join comes there, but they are soldered together in there. And I used a really thick 240 volt lead so I wouldn't lose any power drops from doing the extension. And I'll bring that across over the top of the heat plate, and that comes down to the other side. And just showing you there, and you can see like I'm drilling into the chassis, and I've already measured the distance between the magnet and the sensor when the tail shaft was the other way around. But once it's all soldered together and so forth, then I tape it all up and finish the job off with giving everything a spray of paint, so it all looks good. It's a sensor there, so there's the spray, all sprayed there. So once it gets all its cover and everything, like dirt, grime, or whatever, over a period of time, that's going to look like part of the car. It's not going to stand out that it didn't belong there, and that's what I was targeting with that. And the chassis is the best part I could screw into, because I didn't want to screw into the floor itself on the fear of I might come up underneath someone's feet. This is in the engine compartment. I didn't use the bits that come with it. I used bike parts to use here, because the parts that came with it wouldn't suit up to how I wanted. There's the what do you call that unit? I'm not too sure. We got the vacuum line there, and it had got the vacuum line that comes down underneath with the throttle lead, acceleration lead, whatever you want to call it, I guess. I didn't end up doing it that way, so one of those leads stayed there, but I had to bring the vacuum lead over to the brake booster vacuum, so you can see there. Just it was a better place to find the vacuum instead of trying to go to the engine bay. The vacuum line wasn't long enough to make the distance, but the acceleration cable did. That was perfect distance. Alright, I'll tell you a little bit about the sensitivity on the low, medium and high, and what they actually do to the cruise control. The difference is, on high, if your car is dropping in speed, the cruise control is quick to accelerate to get you back up to the speed you were, where medium will take you there relatively quickly as well, but not as quick, and low will take you there, like it'll just slowly accelerate and you'll slowly get back up to speed, and it's slow to react. So basically that's the difference between low, medium and high. And I'll tell you another thing about the cruise control that I found with the with the, what they call that there, that black wire loop, that makes the difference between the sensitivity of the pulse per mile between 2,000 and 5,000 revs. And what I was finding with it is when I first set it up, I didn't cut the wire, and I took the car for a long trip, and on the open highways where the speed limit's over 100 k's, Uh, the van wasn't doing, or my car wasn't doing, more than 95 k's, and I couldn't work it out at first. I was playing with the settings with low, medium, and high, but what it turned out to be after having a look around is that I had to cut that wire. Uh, the thing is, my tail shaft is not that great a area as what it could be if you was to put the cruise control on something else, like a truck or something else. So in my instance, I have to cut that wire, and now the cruise control will work anywhere between the speed of 40 k's up to whatever. I've tested it up to 140, but that's a bit wrong. Um, Needless to say, it does what I want it to do. With the wire joined, it did between 30 and 95. So if you're putting it on tail shaft like me, I would suggest that you're going to have to cut that wire. Alright, what we've got here is where I came in the firewall, up past the steering column, and it came out on one of those little plastic pieces that gave me dash. It was the best place for it, I thought. And that all worked out well there. To use the cruise control and to set your speed while driving, it says in the manual to get up to the speed that you're doing, about 80 k's, and then press the set button on the control there. You'll feel the acceleration slowly leave your foot, and it'll keep your speed. I found the opposite to what the manual says. If I press that button, nothing happens, but if I press that button a second time and hold it down, then I can use it to slowly accelerate to the point where I'll feel the pedal leave my foot, and I'm good to go. I found the opposite side to be better. When driving, if you was to use the decline instead of incline to set your speed, so get up to say about 80 k's, then press decline once, that will hold the speed for you. Well, in my case, that holds the speed for me better than pressing the set. And then once I'm good, I can use set to go faster or use decline to go slower, which is really good. It's also when you've got the cruise control set, the decline is also a restore button as well, so you can when you're accelerating, you want to get back to that same speed you're doing, just press that button and the cruise control will take you back to that speed that you're doing, which is really good. And that's about it there. And one last thing, the manual tells you to connect the power to the ignition. There's two screws to remove the cover plate underneath the steering column. Once you remove that cover plate, it's very easy access to the wires of the ignition, and just use your multimeter to find out which wire is the active wire when the ignition is on. And you can find your accessories wire in there as well for other purposes if you need to connect something up to accessories. And yeah, that's about it. Any questions, just post them in. I'll have a link to the manual of the AP60 in my description as well, so you can just click on that link there to have a look at the diagram schematics of how to wire it up as well. I hope this is useful to you. Did the best I could, and yeah, so drive hard, drive fast, and handle all the humps. Take care.